Hey everyone, For Brick's Sake here. Today we have a delivery because we've got not one, not two, but 3 parcels. 2 Bricklink orders and 1 Lego order. These are all for Gastons Tavern. Let me show you what pieces I've ordered. So the first order is one of the larger ones from Bricklink and in total cost me about 280 Australian. First, here are a bunch of pieces that aren't for Gastons Tavern specifically, but they were pretty cheap, so I bought them because I might need them for other stuff. So we've got these dark orange hinge plates and brackets. Might end up using these for furniture or even for like the window awnings for Gastons, but I just bought them because they were cheap and I like the colour. We bought some more of the 1x2 plates with the grill. I used my complete supply already in Bell's Cottage, so picked up some more of those because again they were pretty cheap. I got some dark green slopes. Again, I always use these for landscaping, so good to have them, and they were pretty cheap again. These I think were like 2 cents each. I don't have any need of them, but I like the color, and so I just got a bunch of them in case I want to do a repetitive pattern with them later on. They're a cool piece. We got some slopes in olive, and we got some more of the car bonnets in olive as well. These are good for using for like window frames and stuff, so again, super cheap. I think they're like 2 cents a piece each, so I just grabbed a bunch for later. I also got a whole stack of their handcuffs. They're really good for like fences and stuff, so I just grabbed a whole bunch. And then finally, of the pieces I grabbed that aren't for Bell's Cottage from this Bricklink order, we've got the dark tan kind of tread pieces and the smaller tread pieces in black. I still might use these for barrels in Gastons Tavern. It's unlikely, but I like the technique you can do with these with the barrels. This one, I love the idea of if I do like a industrial or like a Star Wars kind of build of using these for like treads as part of the walls or the floor. So I just grabbed them because again, they were super cheap. Just good to have stack on ready. Going into the pieces I actually ordered for Gastons. So in this order, we got the 1x2 clips that we'll use to do this bottom like level of the stone wall for Gastons Tavern on the first floor. We also got a stack of the hinge plates that I'll also use for like the stone awning around the window. So it's good to get them. We got a whole stack of brackets. Now originally I was going to do it 1x1 brackets, but as you might remember from the first video, the wall was super flimsy when I was only 1 stud. And then I tried making it 2 studs deep and it really made it a lot stronger, so I switched everything to 2s. We got 2 of my favorite pieces for building walls. We've got the 1x2 rounds plates and we've got the 1x2 ingots in white. I love these pieces so much. They are going to be my go-to when building brick walls, so I got a stack of them. You think this is enough, but knowing me, it's probably not. I'm gonna have to order more, but it's a good start and we'll see where we get with these. I don't know how much smoke I'm gonna have in Gastons Tavern, but I just ordered a bunch of these because they were pretty cheap again. And I use these, as you saw in Bell's Cottage, for my smoke. It really works out well. Look, it might end up being in the wall as well because they're round. Just gives it a bit more detail, but I got a stack of those, which is good. Got some 2x6, 2x6? Yeah, 2x6 dark brown plates. These will be the top of the bar. We've got some dark brown slopes. These actually aren't for the tavern, but great color for furniture and stuff, so I just grabbed a bunch because I don't have a whole lot of the curves. But yeah, we've got dark tan in the car piece, the little hood piece, which we're using for the bottom of the bar. So I got all of them and stuff, which is great. We got the telescope pieces. Might use these for stools. Don't actually have a plan for these, but again, they were cheap and I love dark brown, so just grabbed them while I could. We end up using them somewhere in Gastons Tavern. And then we got regular brown. So we got these fantastic piece, which if you saw in my last video, I only recently discovered, and they're gonna be used to build my barrel. I didn't have to buy them in brown, but it just lucked out that this person that I bought this stuff from had them in brown at a cheap price, cheaper than the dark gray I was using. So if you can see it through the gaps around the edge of the barrel, at least it'll be brown and consistent. But got enough to make, I think, 3 barrels or maybe a little bit more because they're quite a cool piece. But yeah, glad I picked that one up. For the barrels as well, we've got the lids, so these will go on either side. And then I got some plates for doing the like in between slats of the walls. And then we got a whole lot of brown jumper plates, doing that wood like border detail on the outside of the building. So I've got heaps of these. Actually, I think I have even more coming because there's just so many I need, so that's good. And then we got some snot, brown snot for doing the second floor. So it's good we got those. I can also use this for furniture and building the animal heads. So good that we got a bunch of those. And then finally, one of my favorite pieces at the moment is the little detailed 1x2 brick. It's great for furniture. I'm probably gonna use this for Gastons sign just to give it a bit of flair and detail, but yeah, got a couple of those. And then I've grabbed a bunch of these. So these are from the Mario sets. They've got like this weird edge underneath, which I don't really care about, but they're just a lovely shape for tables in a bar. Now, I wasn't sure which size I wanted to do because I didn't really know until I had everything kind of mapped out or like physically built how much space I had. I got about 8 in both. Again, they were super cheap, so it doesn't really matter which one I use, and at least I've got both. But the idea is we'll take these combined with some of these barrels I got. And what I'm kind of thinking is like I'll attach that to the bottom, kind of just build a little stand underneath, and these will be my bar tables where everyone will sit. So super happy to pick these up. It's a nice solid piece, which is good for transporting to the convention. But yeah, happy with those two. So next we have all of the tan pieces that I've gotten to do the antlers, the like mounted heads that will be on the walls. So we've got like the droid arms in different styles to do the antlers, you know, some fun tiles, obviously plates with clips because we'll need those to connect. Same with the headlight bricks because we can put tubes in, we can put like these tubes into there and connect them. Different types of claw pieces, lots of different pieces, just to give us a lot of variety so it doesn't feel repetitive. I did buy these and I didn't realize how big they were. They're from like Bionicle set or something, and I saw that, I'm like, oh, that could be a cool antler, but they're just ginormous. They're way too big. So I only got 4. Probably won't use them. Maybe for Gaston's chair, but I don't think so. Might have to find a use for them later, but they're a pretty cool piece, especially if you're doing creature build, because that's pretty realistic and a, you know, solid base. So, but yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of tan. And funnily enough, there's more tan coming. And then finally from this pack, we have the fun pieces. So I've got these. The ice cream things. I'm gonna stack a whole bunch in a bowl for the eggs because he eats like 24 eggs in the morning. Nice little detail. We've got these for the arrows, so they're gonna be mounted into the archery board, but we've got those. And then we've got all this. So we've got some turkeys that are gonna go on there. There's a chicken. We've got some baguettes that might go on tables. We've got some trophies for Gaston. Oh, there's a little fiddle there. We've got these swords, which will be fun to just give some detail around. I've got these gold bars as well in case I might use them for the bar instead of the tubes, but we'll see. We've got some more barrels, which I might use with the tables. But yeah, just lots of fun pieces. Next, we have the small order from Bricklink that costs about $140 Australian, including shipping and all that jazz. We have so many brown tiles in all shapes and colors. I actually ordered this lot first and then realized I'd miscounted and I need to hold basically every piece I had. So yeah, this is gonna be a lot of detailing. Can't get enough of brown tiles apparently. They keep running out. We also got some more of these plates because we love them, but in brown. This one I will use for Gastons Tavern, for the windows, for the architraves. Like this will be used a lot, so good piece. I also picked up some in the dark bluish grey, the light bluish grey, and I think you see it, the sand blue and tan, because I used all of that on Belle's Cottage. I use these pieces a lot. I love it. It's one of my favourite pieces to use, so always pick these up if they're cheap. And then we got some fun pieces. So we've got these for the tables. I was contemplating making my own because I don't think this is the right scale, but I just bought a bunch because again, the right price for it, so I just grabbed it while I could. But yeah, these will probably go around Gastons Tavern. We've got these fun old school weapons, but these will look great hanging on the wall and just give it a bit more detail. Got some plant pieces because we always get plants. Again, for the antlers, we've got, I have no idea what this piece is called. It's a good piece though. That piece, which we can use to attach things for the antlers is again. And then we also got some 1x2 round bricks that will be used for the bar. I picked up these two. There's one there. I think it's like a Tuscan horn. I don't know, it's from a Star Wars set. Grab those again for the antlers. And we got some wagon wheels. And then we got some barrels in brown and a whole bunch of snot pieces. These will all be used for the second story doing that wall. Need a lot of snot to hold everything together. I might just stack these barrels or I might use them for tables, to be determined, but we just grabbed a bunch. And finally, we have this $260 order from Lego directly. So first up, I got about 10 of these. The Technic brick pieces from the art set. I use these for the Belle's Cottage. They're super stable because you can chuck Technic pins all along here and then connect them that way. And then you can put plates underneath to connect them that way. So transporting them to conventions, they are super, super stable. Yes, it would have been cheaper to do plates. These are about $4.50 each from Lego, but I prefer these if I'm going to be moving it to a convention. So got about 10 of these. So obviously I got some of these flower pieces. They're a relatively new piece and I really like them. I just think they're one of the better flower pieces we've got at the moment. So I just got a couple of those. Similar, I got these. It's kind of like a stud with a clip on the end. These are a really versatile piece for snot because you can basically turn any Technic brick into a really versatile clip piece because you can turn it. It's not stuck on one angle. So I really like them. So I just grabbed a bunch of them. Again, another new piece. So a bit hard to find on Bricklink at the moment for a cheap price. So I got some of them. And the other thing I got from Lego, which is a bunch of new tile pieces. So I got a bunch of these triangle tiles in a bunch of neutral colors. We got these corner tile pieces in the light grey colours, so white, light bluish grey and dark bluish grey. And then we got these kind of corner pieces, again in neutral colours. So we got dark bluish grey, light bluish grey, white and blue, the dark blue. Oh, I didn't get them in light bluish grey. Why didn't I do that? Huh, that's surprising. Maybe it wasn't available. But yes, these are kind of newer tile pieces, so it's hard to get in bulk for a cheap price. These are the kind of pieces I'll pick up when I get Lego orders. It's just not, at the moment, easy to get from Bricklink cheaply, so since we're paying Lego price anyway, might as well get them. Some other tile pieces I got were a stack of the 1x1 and 2x2 round tiles in dark bluish grey and light bluish grey. This will be for the front courtyard of Gastons. I got a bunch of those for that. We've got a stack of these corner wedge pieces in the left and right in lots of colours, lots of neutral colours. These are great for furniture, but I'm also going to use them to build mounted animal heads on the wall, maybe a bear and a deer. So I just got them in a bunch of colours because again, it's a newer piece. It's hard to get in these neutral colours that I like for like trees and whatever, or even landscaping. So just grabbed a bunch of them. It worked out cheap to get it from Lego. Then Bricklink, we got some more brown pieces for furniture type builds. So we've got these little corner bricks. We've got a bunch of the candlesticks that I probably will use for either stools or like maybe artwork, like frames. We've got some of these slopey pieces. Probably going to use these for the Gastons sign that will hang out the front, which time, but I like those pieces. We got some more of the Unikitty tailpiece and some plain owls. I think I'll use these for Gaston's chair. Could use them elsewhere, but that's kind of what I'm thinking of for the moment. We got some brown, different types of hinge pieces. So we got the clip piece and the headlight brick, which will be super useful for building the door to Gastons Tavern. We've got some dark brown. I don't actually have a use for these necessarily. Could be for stools, chairs, furniture, not sure, but just grab some because I don't have any of dark brown in this, and this is a good piece for furniture. These will be for the bar. So these are the dark brown cheese slopes. So they'll be for the bar. And then finally, we got these dark brown tooth pieces, I think they're called. Again, these are probably used for building like the bust of animals that will be mounted on the wall, but yeah, good piece. Next, we got some very expensive barrel pieces. I was shocked. I think it was like $1.50 each. Couldn't find them cheaper on Bricklink. Shocked how expensive these are, but they will be for the barrels. I only got 2, even though I kind of want to do 3 barrels. I think because of the size, I'll only end up doing 2. And then we also got some of the tap pieces in brown, which will come off the top like a keg. Also specifically for the bar, we've got our dark brown windows, so they're going to be along the bottom. Got a whole bunch of those, and we also got the glass piece that is dark brown. It's not see-through, it's dark brown, so that'll be used together to make the bar. And then we've got a whole stack of tan pieces that I'll use to make the antlers. So if we open it up and have a look, so we've got like the little collar piece, could be useful. Could mount the antlers off this. Croissant in tan, because you never know. These piece, which is very expensive, but I think will be a good horn kind of piece. I think it was like $1.50 each for those. Got some of the droid bodies, could be like a good foundation to build the antlers off. See, this is just claw piece, the horns, classic. The plant piece, but in tan, so that could be a good finishing bit. And like snot pieces and stuff, so just a whole bunch of pieces to try do the horns. Now, I don't know which ones of these I'm going to use. I did order a bit blind. To be honest, I just don't have a bunch of these to test it to see if it would work, but while I'm there, I just ordered a bunch. There's other uses you can always use it for. These would be for the antlers. And then finally, for some reason, this was in its own separate bag. Maybe because I ordered so many of them, but even then I've ordered heaps of the other pieces, so I don't know why this was separated. These are how I'm gonna do the wall, the second floor, with the slanted wood in between. So I think it's like 200 there. I can't remember. It's a lot. Yeah. So altogether, this is about $680 worth of Lego. Admittedly, not all of it is specifically for Gastons, but since I'm using bricks from my collection already, I'm just counting it all towards how much I'm spending on Gastons, because I'm curious how much it's going to cost me at the end. Make sure you hit subscribe so you get part 3. We'll go into building the first level of Gastons, and also we've got Brick Academy happening at the moment, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more videos. And I'll catch you in the next one.